Alright, Monday Night Raw review back on FPSG. Actually, it's the first Monday Night Raw review on FPSG. We did SmackDown last week. If you guys want to know why we're doing reviews here on this channel, leave a comment down below. I'll address it in a separate video, but we've got a Raw review to do. Hold up while I turn my fan off. I'm sure you can hear me just fine now, but Raw, okay? We start off with Miz TV. I'm always happy with that because Miz is my favorite. I'm just going to say this now in the WWE. He is my favorite. So, he invites Cesaro and Sheamus. Pretty good, whatever. Up until boring old Dean Ambrose comes out. I'm going to be honest here. If you've never seen my Raw reviews on my other channel, or my SmackDown reviews on SmackDown before, I can't stand Dean Ambrose, so let's just get that out there in the open. Now, Miz pretty much called him stupid for coming out here for a 3-on-1, and Dean Ambrose is not stupid. He brings out the Hardy Boys, and after the commercial break, we get a 6-man tag. So it was a decent match. Dean Ambrose and the Hardys get the win after Matt hits a twist of fate on the Miz, and Sheamus comes in to stop it. Big ass uppercut by Cesaro to Matt, but Jeff Hardy comes off the top with a swanton bomb and which leads to the victory for the Hardy Boys and Dean Ambrose. So decent way to start off the show. Honestly, this was not that bad of a show. There was some stupid shit, but we'll get to it. We come back, and in the ring singing is Elias Sampson. I'm totally fine with that because I like Elias Sampson. Basically, he beats the shit out of a guy named Zack Gibson. I think that was his name. If not, I'm sorry. I don't think anybody knew his name. We all just know that he got killed. Like, destroyed. One thing that I wanted to note was the part where all of a sudden Corey Graves gets up, looks at his phone, and leaves Michael Cole like Michael Cole's face was just like, what the fuck is going on? But he goes back and basically shows Kurt a text saying that he's a disgrace, it's not a good GM. I don't really get what's going on here. Hopefully they do something else with it. I hope this don't lead to him getting released of the GM duties. I don't know what's going on with that, but I do think it's interesting. Maybe it's something to take note of and keep an eye on. I don't really know what to say about that one. We get interviews backstage with certain people like Seth Rollins. We had one with Samoa Joe before that. And we pretty much get Seth Rollins Roman Reigns main event. We got the Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Bray Wyatt triple threat. Hands down, the best match of the night. This is the only thing, if you did not see Raw, to go back and watch. Samoa Joe gets the win after Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on Samoa Joe, which Samoa Joe's out of the ring. I was like, okay, maybe, Bray Wyatt can win here, but Finn Balor hits the Sling Blade and hits the coup de grace. And right before he gets to the pin, Samoa Joe comes up, throws him out of the ring. I was interested. I really did like this match, and Samoa Joe gets the victory heading into Extreme Rules. Now, maybe he can win at Extreme Rules, but I think it's going to be Finn Balor. Finn Balor's winning, and he's going on to face Brock Lesnar, obviously. So we get a backstage interview with the Revival, and everybody's suspicious about who knocked out Enzo. Honestly, I'm going to give you a crazy theory after all this. I don't think it's true, but just wait here. So they show him a video of whatever her name is interviewing Sasha Banks. I have no idea who that chick's name is. I think it's called Charlie Caruso or something like that. And basically, in the background, the Revival's walking around. And that raises suspicion about maybe that they attacked Enzo. But I say no to that. Either way, Corey Graves makes a statement about how The only one who knows is Big Cass. Big Cass comes out, kind of gets in his face. Corey Graves refutes what he said, and they just shake hands and walk away. So here is my crazy ass prediction on who attacked Enzo. It's probably not real, but I would love to see this happen. It's Broken Matt Hardy. I mean, I doubt it since they got denied the copyright for the Broken gimmick, and then whatever the guy from Impact did. Ed Nordholm, what he went on. I actually did a video about that on my other channel. Make sure you go watch that on Something Epic. So I doubt it will happen. I don't think Broken Matt will even get to the WWE at this point. But if it does happen to be like that, I called it, and I think that it could be fucking amazing. Now, somebody probably said this before me. I'm just saying that I really honestly think that would be pretty cool. But at this point, I doubt it. We get not a lot of talking in the shows, which is what I really kind of liked. Now, we do get a stupid cruiserweight match, I guess. It was Rich Swann versus, I don't even know because I didn't even care. It was Noam Dar. I am done with the cruiserweights, honestly. Even Neville and Austin Aries can't save this, and they've been going at it since WrestleMania now. Nobody can save this division. I'm going to be completely honest. I've heard maybe Enzo could go in there and save it, and maybe Xavier Woods, but I don't think even that. No one cares anymore. There's a select few people that come to Monday Night Raw, and people who tune in that care about the cruiserweights. I lost interest about 2 months after they got on the Raw brand. I lost interest before the 205 Live. So I don't think much of anything can really happen to draw people back into this division. It just didn't. It's failed. So Rich Swann gets the victory. Sasha Banks and somehow is involved in this. I don't care. I can't stand it. She needs to be facing Alexa Bliss instead of Bayley, because we'll get to that part of the show. Made me want to just give up on wrestling. I'm not even lying, it was that bad. But we do get a Titus Brand along with Apollo Crews versus Kalisto. Titus gets the victory after he rolls up and uses the tights for leverage. You know what? A lot of people don't like this. A lot of people are wondering why I'm one of the people who are wondering why Apollo Crews is even wrapped up with Titus O'Neil. Honestly, I think he could be a huge star in a big rivalry, but this it's good. It's good for Titus O'Neil because he wasn't doing anything. The stuff that they put him in before this was stupid, but honestly, this character works for Titus O'Neil. So maybe this could do something in the long run, but for right now, it's just who really cares? Make us care. I think this could be something good, but for now, it's really not. So here we go. It's Bayley's Life, presented by Alexa Bliss. Normally, Alexa Bliss is my favorite women's wrestler on the roster. Hands down the best. So, this really upset me. She brought out her teacher, Mrs. Flaps. Like, what the fuck was that? Honestly, kill me. She brought out her former best friend, who honestly I don't think ever acted a day in her life. That was pretty bad. Then she brought out her former boyfriend, and then they end up kissing the ex best friend. Oh my god. This was 10 times worse than the Old Day thing. The worst thing the New Day ever did was the Old Day thing, but compared to this, that looked like gold. This was bad. I don't think anybody would say that this was entertaining at all. Like I said, I am a huge fan of Alexa Bliss, but what the hell was that? Like, really? So we get back in the back, and Enzo's got attacked again. This makes me feel like it's Big Cass. I don't want it to be, because I feel like these guys should be tag team champions. They didn't get the titles in NXT. If they don't get them here on the main roster, I am pissed. Honestly, everybody wants to see these guys as tag team champions, and if it turns out that Big Cass attacked Enzo, that'd be heartbreaking. Honestly, I would love to see them as tag team champions. But at this point, I don't see it happening. I do want to say that I don't think it's Matt Hardy. That was just my crazy little thought. But honestly, I don't think it's the Revival. And if it's the Club, kill me, because I'm tired of seeing those matches. To me, it's leading towards Enzo. Now, if they make it the Revival, I don't think Dash is supposed to be back until July. So if they really want to stretch it out until July, I don't see that, though. I don't think they can. If they do, it'd probably get drawn out and get a little boring after a while. So I think this needs to be wrapped up in a couple weeks, and we find out that I honestly believe that it's Big Cass, unfortunately. I don't want it to be Big Cass, but I think that it might. That would suck. Like I said, that would suck. So, up until this point, there was just one bad thing. Just one bad thing, and that was it's Bayley's life. Now, there was the Cruiserweights part that I didn't care about. We got a really good match. So this was leading up all the way until the 10 o'clock hour. 10 o'clock hour starts off with that it's Bayley's life. It's kind of near the ending of it. Then we get Neville and TJP versus Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher. Decent match, but like I said, I don't think it's enough to bring it back in. You heard my stance on the Cruiserweight division earlier. I just don't care anymore. It was a decent match, though. But before that, which I thought was pretty funny, I think the fireworks for Neville scared the shit out of Michael Cole and Booker T. That was hilarious. So TJP gets halfway down the ramp, and then all of a sudden, boom, the fireworks for Neville goes off, and it's just like, they're quiet, and Michael Cole's like, is everyone okay? Like, that was hilarious, dude. I just could not. So, this match, like I said, was decent. A lot of back and forth. Neville looked like a beast. He hits like a Phoenix Splash off the second rope. And Austin Aries turns it into he moves out of the way, gets right on him with the last chancery, and gets Neville to tap out. Now, we all know that they do have a submissions match at Extreme Rules. So, maybe it's a sign. I mean, Neville's been the best Cruiserweight champion since this division started. Austin Aries, though, with the championship, maybe we can get a little more notoriety on it. But honestly, they've had so many matches now that like I said earlier, I don't think there's much to do to save this division. But maybe they can. But with that being said, let's get into our main event. So, before we cut to our main event, we get a interview with Roman Reigns, the big dog. Basically, the only thing he says is that he's the big dog and it's his yard. Something that we know he says every damn time. So, really nothing to note there. We cut, then we come back, and it's Goldust talking about what happened, and that the director is back. Honestly, if he goes back to, I don't think he fully can go back to what he did, and the Attitude Era, like before the Attitude Era, and how good he was then. Honestly, I don't think he's able to do that in the PG era, the stuff he did then. So I think it could be cool to see, but it won't be as good. So then we see R-Truth talking about what's going on. So I do like this, honestly. These guys have done nothing since forever, basically, and now that this whole rivalry and Goldust is heel, honestly, I really would like to see Goldust do something. It would be truly just great. So, main event time. Okay, just the first thing that I want to say about this is how many times, I think a lot of people talk about this. I get pissed off about it. This is mostly why I don't watch Raw. It's the nickname stuff. Okay, we understand Seth Rollins. Is he the Kingslayer? Or is he the Architect? Which one, Corey Graves? So when he comes out, automatically goes, that's Seth freaking Rollins. I like that. I mean, that's what I say most of the time, because he's pretty awesome. Then he goes, right after he says Seth freaking Rollins, oh, he's the Kingslayer. Okay. But then, while he makes his way down to the ring, this mofo says, "The Architect. Please inform us which one." Then you got Roman Reigns. They don't even really say Roman Reigns. It's the Big Dog. That's the cheesiest damn nickname I have ever heard in my life. That is terrible. And then you've got all these other people with these nicknames. And I think Corey Graves gives them another nickname on top of a nickname. And they say nickname after nickname after nickname. And half of them are so bad. Like, it's so PG. I just can't. Honestly, when I heard Corey Graves was going to be the Raw, one of the Raw announcers, I was super happy. He was the greatest person to listen to down in NXT. He comes up to Raw and is pretty much turned into a mini version of Michael Cole. Like, honestly, that's what it's turning into, and I just can't listen to Michael Cole, and you got Corey Graves. Wow. Too much of the nickname shit. Honestly. Does anybody else have that same thought behind this thing? Honestly. And there's another dilemma on SmackDown. When when Tom Phillip calls things, I don't think he has any knowledge of what the names of the moves are. Or unless they tell him not to say names of moves. Because everything is, oh, like, are you retarded? Or not? So, yeah, we'll talk about the SmackDown thing on SmackDown tomorrow's review, but we've got to finally discuss this main event, which was decent. But Roman Reigns, unfortunately, does get the victory. Now, I gotta say, this match, like I said, was decent. The one highlight for me was when Seth had Roman Reigns and he looks like he was going for a buckle bomb. He connects, throws him in the corner, but Roman Reigns pops right out into a Superman punch. I personally did like that. Seth then tried to go for a Phoenix Splash. Of course, Roman rolls out of the way. They get up, hit a couple of knees to Roman Reigns. And what is Seth Rollins' new finisher? To me, it kind of looks like he's got him all set up for like a Rainmaker clothesline, but when he turns him around, it's a knee. I'm alright with it. But he's had so many finishers since being in WWE. Pedigree, the curb stop, which was the best, and now this knee thing. So hopefully he keeps the knee thing for a while. But Roman Reigns ducks the knee and hits the spear, and I knew Roman Reigns was going to win. They're not going to let Roman Reigns lose. Man. But I gotta say, this was a decent Raw. The one thing, like I said, was the Bayley's Life crap. Honestly, it ruined the show for me. But like I said, there's one match that really you should check out, and it's the Triple Threat match. So with that being said, let me know what you thought about Raw down in the comments below. And make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Have any questions, hit me up down in the comments below. And I am out. Thank you so much for watching.